Hello guys, welcome to H2O, the A to Z of chemistry. I'm Dr. Ritu Johar, your educator for this course, and we are going to start a new course today, and the course is hydrogen. Well, hydrogen is going to be the first course for inorganic chemistry for class 11th curriculum for various boards like CBSE, ISC and other state board examination. And also this is a very important course for various competitive examinations like JEE Mains, Advanced NEET, etc. We can technically call this as the second course from inorganic chemistry. What is inorganic chemistry? This is the study of various elements and in compounds. And essentially the study of the elements began when we studied the course on periodic classification of elements, where we learned how the various elements they are placed according to the atomic number in the periodic table. And it is here during the periodic classification that we studied that hydrogen, it is the first element placed in the periodic table. So we are going to have this introductory lecture for hydrogen. So in this lecture 1 from the course hydrogen, we would be briefly introducing ourselves to the element hydrogen. Then we would be talking about its occurrence, discovery and the position in the periodic table. And as the NCERT textbook is going to be very important for your examination, be it board examination or the competitive examination, we have tried our level best to incorporate every important bit from the NCERT textbook. So let us quickly start with the introduction to the element hydrogen. So hydrogen is the first element in the periodic table with the symbol H, atomic number 1 and mass number 1. This means that hydrogen has one proton, one electron and no neutron in its nucleus. And this makes in fact hydrogen the simplest element of the universe. Why? Because there is going to be no other element other than hydrogen which is going to have no neutron in its nucleus. And this is one of the questions which has been asked previously in a JEE Mains examination. So please be very attentive from the very start. Just do not think that this is the introductory lecture and nothing is going to come from it in your examination. Every little thing is going to be very important here. We are trying a level best to put in all the information that is going to be very important either for your subjective examinations or your competitive examination. So the next thing is that hydrogen has mass number 1. Its atomic mass is 1. So this is going to be the lightest element, or you can say the lightest gas that we have in nature. So hydrogen is the first element, the simplest element of the universe, the lightest element or the lightest gas. Again, these can be asked in the examination. Now the next thing is that you should have an understanding why we are studying about hydrogen as a complete course. Well, the first reason why hydrogen is going to be very important is that this is the most abundant element of the universe. 70% of the mass of the universe is composed of hydrogen, making it the most important cause that we are studying hydrogen in detail. Right. The next reason why we study about hydrogen is that this is the only source for sunlight, and you all can have a you do understand that why sunlight is essential for us. You have been studying for this from your junior classes, and also you know from your daily life that we cannot live without the sunlight. Now, sun's light and energy, please do remember this is attributed to the nuclear fusion reactions which are taking place in the solar atmosphere. What is happening in the sun is that 4 hydrogen nuclei, they undergo nuclear fusion reaction to form a helium nucleus, and in the process tremendous amount of energy is released. So if you have studied in your junior classes what is a nuclear fusion reaction, you will be able to understand. Otherwise, if you have not studied till, you will be studying in detail in the coming up courses. But just for now, if you do not know, just remember this, that fusion is something that is going to be small little things coming together to form a bigger thing. Fine. So here what is happening is we have a nuclear fusion reaction. Here there are going to be some nuclei which are going to come close to one another. They are going to combine with one another and they are going to form a bigger nuclei. And what are those small nuclei which are combining? These are 4 hydrogen nuclei which are combining to form one helium nucleus, which is going to be bigger in size than hydrogen. Fine. And in the process, the energy that is released is forming the sun's light and heat that we are receiving. So the only source for sunlight being hydrogen makes the study of hydrogen very important. Another thing that we can understand over here is that because hydrogen has such a potential for releasing a large amount of energy, this becomes very important for us because at this juncture, there is a global concern for finding new sources of energy as the fossil fuels they are depleting fast. So study of hydrogen in this regard can again be of a great help. So we have to have a knowledge for hydrogen. The next thing that makes hydrogen very important is that hydrogen is an important component of water. So you all know that our channel name is H2O. This means that water is having 2 elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen being one of the components therefore is going to be very important because again we cannot survive without water. So these are a few things which are going to make the study of hydrogen very important for us. And now we are going to start with the study. So the first thing we discuss about hydrogen is its occurrence. Where is it found in nature? So the most abundant element of universe, we just now discussed, that is going to be hydrogen, and 70% of the total mass of universe is composed of hydrogen. The next thing is that this is the principal element in the solar system, and it is this which is responsible for the sun's light and energy. The giant planets Jupiter and Saturn consist mostly of hydrogen. Hydrogen is less abundant in the Earth's atmosphere. It is only 0.15% by mass. And why is it so? Well, this is because of its light nature. Why? Because of its light nature that you should now understand. The Earth's gravitational pull is not so strong to hold this light element in its atmosphere. Therefore, it escapes into outer space, and that is why this is less abundant in the Earth's atmosphere. But in the combined form, it is found on the Earth quite a lot. It constitutes about 15.4% of the Earth's crust and oceans. In the combined form, the most important component is going to be water, right? But along with that, it also occurs in plants and animal tissues, proteins, carbohydrate, hydrides. What are hydrides? These are going to be the compounds of hydrogen with other elements, and one of the important hydrides are going to be hydrocarbons, the compounds of carbon and hydrogen which are abundant in nature, and this is going to be the study of these compounds which we will be studying in organic chemistry. And there are going to be many other compounds of hydrogen that we will be discussing in this course. Now, as far as the discovery of hydrogen is concerned, it is quite interesting. Hydrogen was first of all artificially synthesized by the legendary alchemist Paracelsus, who is also known by another name, T.B. von Hohenheim. And how he found out or discovered about hydrogen, well, that is quite an interesting story. So I really would like to share that with you so that you remember certain things when it is told in the form of a story. So once Paracelsus, he was mixing some metals with some strong acids. He came across an inflammable gas, but he did not know the nature of the gas, right? So he did not know what gas he had produced. He would have been the one who had unknowingly discovered hydrogen. But what did he leave behind? Well, just a note of his experiment. And this note was probably read by another scientist, Robert Boyle. And so Robert Boyle, he just read that note. He probably took the same elements and performed the experiment. So in the year 1960, Robert Boyle prepared hydrogen by the action of dilute H2SO4 on iron powder. He again saw that a gas was produced, but he too did not understand the nature of the gas. So next it was in the year 1766 when Henry Cavendish repeated the experiment, and this time he took zinc and reacted this with dilute HCl. Again, he saw some different type of gas was produced, which was different from the other gases. They were known to mankind at that time, and he found that this gas was inflammable. It was inflammable, and then he studied the properties of the gas as well and found it to be the major constituent of water. So he was the one who has given the credit for discovery of hydrogen. But now he forgot to name the gas he had discovered. So till a long time, it was just known as inflammable air. So in the examination now, if somebody asks you which gas is inflammable air, so it is going to be hydrogen gas. Fine. So it was named inflammable air, you can say, by Henry Cavendish. But now who named this inflammable air as hydrogen? So the credit for naming hydrogen goes to Antoine Lavoisier. And why did it name this gas as hydrogen? Well, he named it so because he took the name from two Greek words, hydra and genas. Hydra means water and genas means generator or maker. Thus, hydrogen means water former. Because hydrogen is a major constituent of water, so he named the inflammable air to be hydrogen. I hope you must have found this interesting, a story correlating every name now, and I hope you will remember these names. They are sometimes asked in the examination. The next topic we discuss today is the position of hydrogen in the periodic table. So in front of you we have the periodic table of elements, and here you can see that hydrogen is placed at the top of the periodic table. Group 1, topmost place, period 1, first element is hydrogen. But in many of the periodic tables, you will be seeing that hydrogen, rather than being placed over here, is placed in the center of the periodic table. Why is this placement of hydrogen a controversy is something that we will be understanding now. So just now, as I was telling you, the position of hydrogen in the periodic table is a matter of controversy. Why it is a matter of controversy? Well, let us understand this with the help of the electronic configuration of hydrogen. Hydrogen has the electronic configuration 1s1, which means that there is going to be one electron which is going to be present in the first shell orbiting around the nucleus of hydrogen, which consists of one proton. Fine. Now this electronic configuration of hydrogen is similar to two groups of elements, the alkali metals and the halogens. Why is it similar to alkali metals? Well, this is similar to alkali metals because the alkali metals, they have the general electronic configuration as NS1. So hydrogen being 1s1 is having a similar configuration to that of alkali metals. It also has a configuration similar to that of halogens. How halogens? Halogens have the electronic configuration of Ns2Np5. So how is this similar? Well, this is similar in one respect that halogens need one electron more to reach the nearest noble gas configuration of the noble gases. Similar to the halogens, hydrogen also needs just one electron to attain the nearest noble gas configuration of helium. So because of these, the hydrogen element has properties similar to both alkali metals as well as halogens. We will be talking about this in a greater detail in the next lecture, and it is going to be very important for you to understand what properties of hydrogen are going to be similar to alkali metals, what properties are going to be similar to halogens, and then what are going to be the differences of hydrogen properties from both of these group of elements, right? So that is all that we will be discussing in the next lecture. But before I end this lecture, there is something very interesting I have for you, and this is chemistry in everyday life. Hydrogen being the lightest element, this was once used to fill air balloons. But because of its inflammatory nature, it was replaced by helium gas, the next light element. Interesting. I hope you will remember this as well. So now before we conclude this lecture, there are going to be few multiple choice questions which we will be posting at the end of every lecture of ours for the course hydrogen, so that this becomes a bit more interesting and also you can see how much you are gaining from these lectures of ours, right? So the first question we have is the element which has no neutron is hydrogen, oxygen, boron, helium. Second is the lightest gas known is fluorine, hydrogen, neon, helium. Third is hydrogen was named inflammable air by Paracelsus, Robert Boyle, Henry Cavendish or Anthony Lavoisier. Fourth question is which of the following statements is not true for hydrogen? First, it exists as a diatomic molecule. It is present in our atmosphere in a large amount. It has one electron in the outermost shell. And the fourth choice, it is most abundant element in our universe. The fifth question, which is going to be the last question for today, it is in Greek, hydrogen means water producer, oil producer, smoke producer, and milk producer. So I would request you all to please post your answers in the comment section. It is going to help you understand the things well, remember them well, and excel in your examination. So please do not hesitate. Just put your answers in the comment section. We will be giving you the answers the very day you are posting in your replies, right? We will be trying our level best to revert you as early as possible, but definitely by the end of the day we would be reverting back with the answers which are going to be the correct choices for these questions. So that would be all for this lecture, and the next lecture is going to be a comparison of hydrogen with alkali metals and halogens. We've already seen that the electronic configuration of hydrogen is similar to alkali metals and halogens. Therefore, it is going to be having many properties similar to alkali metals and halogens, and at the same time there are going to be some differences from alkali metals and halogens as well. So a detailed discussion on all this is coming in the next lecture. So please be with us. Do subscribe to the channel H2O Chemistry, and also do click on the bell icon so that you get a notification the moment we put up the next lecture for you. Your comments, your doubts, please put them in the comment section. Also do post in your answers to this lecture questions in the comment section. If you have still any doubts and you do not want to put that in the comment section, you can always mail us your doubts at h2ochemistry@gmail.com. Thank you and have a nice day. God bless you.